Hello, I'm back with the part 2 of the 2023 recap, and again, I'm just doing this for my own benefits, trying to understand myself and self-reflect a little bit. So I'm going to be talking about random stuff, specifically on emotional maturity, and my experiences throughout 2023, what made me better, what made me worse. So for 2023, I had recapped in the other video that a lot of the detriments of this society is, being reactive and not really being grateful and understanding. And I think that another thing is just being able to have emotional control and emotional stability is super important before getting intimate with anyone or before even having that talk about certain things. It's very good to get to know yourself, even if you're single, right? Even if you don't have someone, it's really good to get to know yourself. I feel that when you're in a relationship with someone that is a love relationship, or even a friendship sometimes, you get to that point where you're understanding a lot about yourself. And the struggle that people face a lot is that they don't know themselves. They go into a relationship and they start understanding certain things that piss them off, or certain things that tick them off, or there are certain things that piss the other person off, and you learn from your mistakes and errors, or their mistakes and errors, and you learn from the fights and arguments that y'all have, even if both of y'all are not wrong. And you learn about yourself a lot faster when you're in a relationship, I feel. Does this mean to get into a relationship when you don't know nothing about yourself? No. This is high risk of you getting manipulated, gaslit, of you getting in a source of insecurity. Even if none of those two happen, you will feel insecure eventually. Because if you're not really a secure attachment, right? If you grew up in a household where you didn't have security and love, and your parents were always working and all that stuff, it's something to take consideration that you might have that insecurity of not having the codependency, which is why a lot of people tend to be so attached with their partner when they first start the relationship, and then it seems like they never knew them in the beginning, so they struggle during month 3, month 4, maybe even later or earlier. And they wonder why, and that's because you don't know yourself. And another factor is that you're probably in an environment where you're still learning about the other person, but you've sped up the process of getting to know each other by being with each other every day, by having that physical intimacy every day, and just continuing to build this intimacy, this bond, and this trauma attachment to this person that you don't even know. And the reason why I say this is because a lot of people, and I am included in that, is as soon as you find someone, it's super happy feelings. It feels like you're in love with them. It feels like you want to go and get married and do all these things, especially when you're in a same-sex relationship or anything like that. It can be very, very hard for you to understand your emotions, because if you have hidden something for so long, you create this deeper intimacy with someone else that you don't even know, because you're relating with each other with not being out, right? With not telling other people what's going on. And so that attachment becomes even stronger, right? And so something to understand about myself in 2023 is that I needed to set a lot of boundaries that I didn't and wasn't able to set because I didn't know myself. I didn't know what my limits were as I was in a relationship. So what do I wish to tell people who are getting into new relationships is set those boundaries. If you feel that you are so in love with this person, you're so excited and all that stuff and so infatuated, take a moment, step back, be like, okay, I love this feeling that I'm having right now, but why am I feeling like this? I only know this person for a couple weeks. I only know this person for a couple days. Shit, I only know this person for a couple hours. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling so fucking happy about something that is yet to be discovered, right? And you're going to have to go deep within, because that could be a response to codependency. This is the person I can lean on. This is the person that I will always lean on, that I cannot be away from, right? And then you start moving in with that person, and then you start moving fast with that person. You start a relationship. You don't even know that person, right? So let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about emotional control, right? You have that control. If you have that boundary set, you establish your emotional control, whether you like it or not, right? Whether you want to or not. If you establish the discipline of saying, hey, not tonight, I'm going to do my schoolwork, but let's go and meet up later in this other day in the week, right? And have that control to not sleep with that person every night, and have that control to not invest all your time, all of your eggs in one basket, right? And that doesn't mean go and find other people to date, right? Unless you want to, unless you're doing your thing. But what this means is just take the time to get to know a person before you get physically intimate, before you do all these things. And I hope that y'all can understand where I'm coming from, because I struggled with this in 2023. In the beginning, I felt as if I was not good alone. I was in a new environment. I just moved from Massachusetts all the way to California. And then I find this person, and I want to invest all of my eggs in one basket, and I want to invest all this time for them when I didn't even have my stuff set out. You know, I'm starting college now. I could have started college before. You know what I mean? Or just in general, I stopped going to the gym eventually. I stopped doing certain habits. And I think we need to talk about this as an environment where we are so intertwined with information and technology as Gen Z. We need to understand emotional control and boundaries. And the more boundaries you set, right, the more emotional control you will have. However, there is a limitation to certain boundaries, right? Because it's really what you feel comfortable with. And if you feel that you cannot trust a certain person for a good amount of time, and you are finding yourself very hard to get into a relationship with this person after years of talking, then maybe there's something going on with you. There's some type of trauma response to avoidance that you want to deal with, and you want to focus on yourself with. And that's the time where you need to take space to yourself. That is not the time to go and get married. That is not the time to go and date someone. That is not the time to go and have intimacy, physical intimacy, when you can't even commit, right? Because as humans, we're pattern-based, right? We're based on patterns. We work in cycles, right? So these patterns in our lives that are trauma responses, right? These people that we meet that are essentially the same people in different bodies and different forms are going to keep teaching us this lesson, right? They're going to keep teaching us this lesson of, no, you know, I'm trying to be with you, I'm trying to be with you. Or maybe it's, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to be with you, and you're the chaser, or you're the person that's getting chased. And it's just going to be a constant battle of you trying to find love, and it's just not there, because you're not focusing on yourself. You're not doing what you need to do. You're not putting the due diligence of understanding yourself, of understanding why do you react this way, right? Of understanding why can't you take things slow, of understanding maybe why can't you tell the truth in certain instances. Those things you got to fix, right? You got to fix within yourself. And I do believe that if you're already in a relationship, you can fix this. You don't have to be single, right? If both parties are willing to make things work and willing to work on each other and have independence, then there should be no problem. But if you're codependent on someone and you're always hanging out with someone, then there's no way that you're going to learn how to fix yourself. You're not going to learn how to work on yourself, right? Fix yourself is the wrong word, I think. It's a bad connotation, right? But work on yourself is completely different, because we're not perfect, right? We're not perfect. But it's good to invest some time and be independent, right? And I think that's something that I needed to learn in 2023. And I did learn my lesson, because, you know, I had so many consequences because of my actions of being so codependent and not setting boundaries that I knew I needed to set, right? And another thing is having a reflection, right? Journal or something like that. Just something to reflect on is so important, because you come to the next year, right? The next New Year's, and you start understanding more about yourself, you're going to be like, hey, like this, and this happened. I decided I was going to do that again. And then I look back and I'm like, damn, that makes so much sense. I didn't grow at all, right? And it's really just disciplining your mind and being like, hey, like, we did this wrong, and we did it again wrong, and we did it again wrong. That is the definition of insanity, right? That is the definition of insanity. So the more you reflect on it, the more patterns you're going to start to see, and then you're going to understand that humans are based on pattern. And once you understand that, you can cut those bad patterns off. You can cut those habits off, you know? I could say probably that I learned that from 2023, and I hope that y'all can understand where I'm coming from in this. If you don't, that's fine. But comment down what you guys think, like, is good ways to relieve an attachment style that you've been in for so long. We need to talk about this. This is something deep, but it's serious, and it needs to be known and talked about. So whatever it is that you have, whatever information that you have for me, please comment down below. If you like this content, don't be afraid, like the video or even subscribe. I want to talk more about this, and I also want to get into the military. But again, I am not a representation of the military by any means. Just wanted to point that out there. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys later.